We look good there. So then I need to go to, which one are we here? Okay. Click that. Did I silence my phone? I did. Okay, let's see if that goes. And we'll go here and we'll say start. And let's see if we, okay, I've got a connection there. That's good. I'm waiting to see this. Got a connection there. Looks good. It appears everything is working. Oh, perfect. Okay. So, go here. All right, I see that. Let's get the social stream thing happening here. Where am I? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm just, I gotta figure. There's one thing I do need to figure out, but I'll do that in a second. Okay, so I need to go to sources. Okay. So now I need to say select live. I should see it. I do. Activate. There it is. Go to live. Move that window over. Excellent. Let's go to select source. Now that's weird. I don't see that one as live yet. So is it just taking a minute? Or what? Let's see. Oh, I know what it is. I bet I know what it is. Let me reload this page. Sorry. Oh, that's interesting. For whatever reason, even though this part of it's working, if I go here, yeah, exit the stream, come back to the stream, lock, come back to the stream. For whatever reason, and I really don't know what it is, the chat window, oops, I didn't mean to click that. Oh, there it goes. I was going to say, it wasn't showing up for this. Now it is. Excellent. I do need to finagle one thing here. Let's close all this. That posted. I'm closing all this down because I shouldn't need it anymore. So now I should be able to go to social stream and whoops. That's there. So it should. Why does it not show the Twitch chat? There it is. Okay. It's there. All right, let's test it. Let's see, now that's weird because this is missing. Still wants to be flaky on me, but you know what? I think it's gonna work, so I don't really care. Hit that. Okay, I heard the beep, even though it's not showing here. It's really odd how that happens, but I think it's working. So let's go to social stream here, and I need to capture. I believe it's this. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. And then for Let's View, I need to find Let's View here and say okay. And now I can roll the intro. Now, the one thing I do have to fix is the Let's View thing is just being annoying, which is fine. I think I know how to fix it. Okay, there we go. Let's make sure everything shows up. All right, good. It's showing up. For whatever reason, I can't chat back into the YouTube windows, but honestly, I can just reply to those, so I don't really care. I think they will show up. I think they're just being flaky. Now, Let's View is bothering me because, oh, good. It doesn't care. All right, that's what I want to check. Excellent. Let's View keeps putting itself on top of everything, which is irritating. So I wanted to see if I can move it out of the way, and I can. All right, so I'm going to move this stuff. Well, this is a impromptu stream, which I probably will do another one next Friday. I was not planning to do it. And I didn't post in most places. I put it on Instagram, and that's it. And anybody who's subscribed will see it. But honestly, I'm not posting it in a million places. I'm just not. Yeah, it's really weird how that... I don't think I can do anything. No, I can't. It's really weird. I don't know why it does that. And switching the top chat. No, it doesn't. Nothing. There's something about these windows. I don't know what they are or what it is, but that's okay. All right, so let's make sure this is working. It is. It's my one problem with Let's View is it keeps wanting to be on top of everything. Even though, sorry, even though I don't think it's supposed to be on top of everything. I don't really care. It's fine. It really doesn't make a difference. So I realized, I was like, what am I gonna, right before I hit the stream button, or stream, I was like, what am I gonna do? But anyway, my wife is is subbing in for a body combat class this week and next week. Excuse me, I'm just getting a drink real quick. So since I have a little time before I make dinner, I thought, oh, I can jump in and do a stream. Probably won't be that long, might be 45 minutes or so. Also want to get off of my mind off the fact that my knee is bothering me. I don't know what's going on with my knee, but it's, well, I mean, it was hurting me earlier. We'll see. We'll see. It's been okay, but I'm not counting on that because I guess now I'm at an age where if I go up and down the stairs a lot, apparently now my knee is just going to have a problem. So, you know what I realized? Instead of having to redraw all this stuff, I can just do this. If I just do that, the lines just stay and I don't need to redraw them because I'm fine with the lines the way they are. So rather than go crazy redrawing everything that I did before, since I like it, I'm just going to drop the brightness on everything to 0. And then it all shows up. Okay, those are just the squiggles. These flowers are already there. Good. Yeah, it's kind of dumb to redraw it all when there's nothing wrong with it, right? So I'm not going to. I'm just going to go with what works. Let's mask this stuff out. Because I already like those lines, so there's really no reason. Same thing really down here is, yeah, because why redo all this stuff? Is that leg? Yeah, that's what I thought. Why redo all this? Why redraw it all if I like how it looks? It looks good. So just make the lines black. Just do that. And then do that. And I've effectively now converted my sketches into what they should be. So, yeah. Really dumb to redo that for no reason. Okay, I'm just keeping an eye on the YouTube pages. I don't see anybody who's joined, and that's fine. I just want to make sure so that if somebody types something, if I see somebody, I'll say, hey, type something just to make sure it's working. It should be working. I should be seeing everything, but I have learned not to count on that necessarily. So there, okay, so we have all of our flowers. The flowers down here, where are we here? The upper flowers, not those, but not those, or apparently these. I just need to do a mask here and go ahead and paint that out because the face would be past that. So yeah, my knee, I guess if I go up and down stairs too much, this is what happens now. Which I am not thrilled about, but, you know, it's... Wait a minute. Hold on. That bothers me. That tells me that these are not even. Oh, you know what? It's fine. I'm not going to let that bother me. I'm not going to get hung up on symmetry with something like this. There's plenty of flowers. It's perfectly okay. Don't worry about it. But yeah, a little annoying. Because then what happens is when I go to sit down, I get this arc of pain across the front of my knee, which isn't great. But, I mean, I went and saw my doctor and kind of ran through it, and he said, yeah, that's not something they're going to treat you for because it's transient. It comes and goes. It's not persistent enough yet. I love the word yet there. That it is going to be something that they would... I mean, I don't know what they would do anyway, but like I said, that the more annoying part just is that there's a good chance for the next 3-4 days my knee is just going to be not happy with things. And, you know, it's part of aging. There's nothing to be done about it. There's no fixing it, at least not at this point. It's not something that would require any type of actual work, you know, like surgery or anything like that, which I wouldn't be in a rush for anyway. But it's more of just, you know, annoyance at a part of aging that sucks. No other real way to put it. It's just irritating. It's what happens. It's fine. You know, I mean, I'm not, when I say it's fine, as in, what am I going to do about it type of fine, not, oh, that's great, fine. It's just nothing to be done. You know, if it gets worse, which, you know, I honestly, I can't pretend I'm not surprised because my mother, her knees are shot. And, you know, it doesn't sound fun, so I guess that's what I'm looking at down the line. Genetics tends to supersede everything at some point on things like this. So I suppose I will just have to, I mean, it's not, I'm trying to remember, I saw my doctor a few months ago, I want to say. So it's, you know, I think I have a rough idea of what causes it, so I just have to be careful. You know? I'm not going to be able to avoid stairs all the time. But, oh, you know what, though, now that I think about it. Oh, I bet I know. Actually, I think I know what really did it. I was on my feet for a long time yesterday, past normal, without giving myself a break. I'll bet that's what it was. I'll bet it's a bad thing. You're supposed to, gotta give your legs a break. And I stand for work a lot, and I usually am pretty good about taking breaks, but yesterday, yeah, I'll bet that's what it was. I bet that, and the stairs that I was going up and down today, which are concrete stairs, you know, they're not great stairs. I bet that combination of things, I bet that's what did it. So, yeah, I'll be paying for it the next few days. Usually it lasts a couple days. Usually it's like 3 days. So, like I said, annoying, you know. Lots of things about aging I don't really care. I think I've said this before. It's not, oh, lines on your face, all that stuff. Stuff's a lot of people get hung up about. I don't really care. Really don't. But the fact that there's just stuff that, you know, physical stuff that you just realize you can't do anymore is, yeah, I'm less okay about that, I guess is the only way to say it. So, and, you know, on top of that, my car is making some kind of weird noise, so I gotta bring it into the dealer, so I know that's gonna run me some money. Always does if there's a dealer involved. Anybody who owns a car and has ever had to take it to a dealer is well aware that taking anything to the dealer means you're going to be paying some money. But unless it's covered by some kind of warranty or recall, which if it is an engine thing, it should be because the car does not have that much mileage on it. But, again, if you've ever had to deal, no pun intended, believe me, if you've ever had to take your car to a dealer before, they will try every single possible thing they can to not have to cover something. So even if it should be covered, it does not, for even a second, mean it will be. So we'll see. I'm happy they were able to get me in quickly, because if it is something with the engine, you know, I don't want to mess with it too much. It might not be. Maybe, oh, you know what? I forgot. I don't want to do that. I wanted this one, yes. The other one, no. You know, hopefully if it's something minor, that's great. Or something, like I said, that's covered, okay. I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm not. I seem to have bad luck with cars. Ironically, for the son of somebody who was very good with cars and had a lot of luck with cars, I both know very little about them and don't have a lot of good luck with them. My last car only made it to, God, I don't even think it made it to 75,000 miles, which is not a lot. For somebody who doesn't drive their car like an idiot, I don't do that anymore. My cars when I was younger, I certainly drove stupidly. No doubt about that. And trashed them and wrecked them, but that was my fault. And I'll tell you right away, it was my fault. I doomed those cars. Those cars going at the time that they did. It was no fault of their own. I drove them into an early grave. Like I said, I can't pretend it was anything other than my own stupidity there. Definitely was. But my last car and this car, I didn't drive them badly. I took, I think, pretty good care of them. And the first one conked out at just short of 75,000 in a major way. I think it was the head gasket. Don't get me wrong, PT Cruisers are known for that, so I can't say it was a total surprise, but geez, you would have thought I could have made it a little bit past 75K. Nope. Not at all. I only got lucky with that car that at the time, and I don't even know if they do this anymore, the state would reimburse you for a small amount of what the car would have been worth, but still better than nothing, to dispose of it for you, because they don't want people. I guess there's an epidemic of people just abandoning cars. I guess, because that's the reason that there was behind it, is they would pay you for to let them wreck the car. And to me, it's like, well, the car's getting wrecked. If you want to wreck it, you know, sure, it was fine with me. Where did that line come from? What is that? Where is that? Is that this? No, it's not that. It's probably this. There it is. So I got lucky with that one, but, you know, still, I liked that car. I know not everybody's a PT Cruiser fan. It's not a car that, I still see them around, though, so I shouldn't say that. There are people who still like that car. I never had a problem with it. I liked it. I thought it was a nice-looking car. You know, I liked it. So it was, I was not thrilled when it went out on me. But as I said, what can you do? Where am I here? Oh, in this. Okay, so where's that flower? Is that this? No. No. Where is that? There it is. Okay, let's get that. My dog is giving me the stare, but it's not time for her food yet. She doesn't want to hear that, but that's the reality. It's not time yet, so I will have to take a quick break. Oh, wait. Whoops, almost did that wrong. No, that all stays. It's only these that go behind. So I'll need to take a short break to feed my dog so that I don't starve her mercilessly, which is what you would think from the way that, you know, she'll give you the look like you haven't fed her in weeks. Not true. That dog eats more regularly than most people. Yeah. So she'll pretend that's not the case. I will tell you now, that is the case. Okay, this goes behind. So, yeah. So I figured I'm going to channel my energies into something positive, do a little drawing. For a little while anyway, because why not? Why not? Why not? So yeah, I did not post this in all the places I usually do, and that's fine. I put it on Instagram. And where else? Is this the layer mask for that? Yes. Actually, that's it. So the only other way anybody would know is if it went on the, you know, the automated. Anybody who subscribed to YouTube, to the YouTube channel, would have seen it. That's it. And that's okay, because, you know, I say, and I mean it, I'm not. Wait, did I delete too much? No, I didn't. Wow, I did not. I don't run this channel expecting to have huge subscribers and big numbers and all that stuff, so it's perfectly okay. Perfectly fine. If people watch it later, it's just, to me, it's just the same as if they watch it live. I'm sure that's not how I'm supposed to think. That's not the what's the word for it? That's not the road to a large YouTube following or whatever. But I don't care. I don't care. Where is that? Why? Whoa, wait a minute. Where is that going? Hold on. Where is this? Did I... What did I do here? Why does that line not go anywhere? Wait a second. Oh, because it's underneath. Okay, I got it. I just wanted to make sure that I had that right. I do. So this all goes away. Yeah, like I said, I'm not counting on getting a huge YouTube following. Hold on, I have to cough. Let me mute this really quick. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Oh boy, did I see that meter spike. So I did that just in time. Just in time. Okay. Yeah, I don't have a cough button for this, so that would have been really loud in your ears. And I'm not trying to annihilate anybody's hearing. All right. Yeah. I saw some great news, actually. A channel that I'm a big fan of and have followed for quite a while now. A video game... I don't know what they would consider themselves. I would have to actually ask them. I guess it's video game benchmarking site. I don't know if that's accurate, really. I don't know if that's how they would describe themselves. Anyway, the name of the channel is Digital Foundry. And, oh, okay, I'm just going to erase this. This should just be gone. There's really no reason to mess with that too much. They were apparently, and I didn't know this, I've been a supporter of theirs for a while, but did not realize that they were actually or at least partially, from my understanding, partially owned by IGN, the video game. You know, this is the problem with modern stuff, is I don't even know if IGN, I doubt IGN today is what IGN was when I first started, when I first became aware of IGN. I'm pretty sure it's changed hands at least a few times. And this is one of my kind of biggest irritations with the modern structure of the web, is you don't even know, you know, names of things don't change, but owners do, and you're really not aware of it. So is IGN today, I don't even know what IGN stood for, to be honest. I'm not sure what the letters, but it was a gaming website that a lot of people, I think, were fans of for a long time. Hold on, I'm just looking at something. Is that supposed to be coming out? Oh yeah, it is. I accidentally deleted. I did masking where I should not have. I wasn't thinking about the fact that this flap, this would come over. So this should all be here. The flowers shouldn't be here. They should be under this flap. Yeah. Or, well, actually, let me see. Hold on, I'm going to mess with this a little bit and see what I want to do here. Do I want it to be that only that flower is under there? Huh. Good question. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave that like that. Okay. Okay. So then the flower... Hold on, I gotta find the flower. This has to have a mask. Switch to black. Anyway, so Digital Foundry was apparently at least partially owned by IGN, which I wasn't aware of. And, you know, I don't think it was ever obvious. Not that it matters. I'm not saying that they weren't covering anything up. I don't want to make it sound like that. It wasn't that. But I didn't realize that they were partially owned by IGN. And, you know, anytime you're owned by a company, they were talking about the fact, they were very upfront about this in their, because they've gone independent. They actually bought themselves, well, I should say IGN allowed them to buy their stake out. So they are now fully independent of IGN. I think they still have a co-investor, I believe, but they are no longer under IGN's umbrella. Why did that? Oh, because I did it in white, not black. And so one of their most successful things, and I'll be honest, the thing that I most care about when it comes to the channel, because they do a lot of stuff with modern games and modern game technology, which is all fine. That's all fine. That's good. They do great work on it. It's a lot of exhaustive work. But I've talked before about the fact that I couldn't care less whether a game has ray tracing or not. Like, that's just not important to me. The other stuff that they do that I really do pay attention to is they do a lot of coverage of older games. They have a whole retro sub-channel. And that stuff I really do like. That is the content that I'm interested in and the coverage that I like to watch. And it's routinely been shown, if you were to actually look at their numbers and, who watches stuff and all that, the analyzation. If you were to analyze the metrics, say it like that, because I feel like I'm saying that correctly, but it feels like I'm saying it incorrectly somehow. But if you were to look at the actual YouTube channel performance metrics, it was, pretty clear that people did like that content. But apparently when they would want to do more within that space, the retro stuff, there was a lot of resistance. People, the decision makers within IGN, it sounds like, did not think that there was enough of an audience for that. Even though, as I said, and as the team has said, if you were to look at the actual metrics and performance of videos and all the rest of it, the things that should matter, it was very evident that people were interested, which is not a surprise to me because, that's the stuff I was into. Or I am. I actually had to scale back. I scaled back my Patreon support of that channel probably a few months ago because, mostly just because I wanted to be able to save more money. There's a lot of, as I'm sure many people know, in the United States right now, there is a lot of economic turbulence. There's a lot of uncertainty. Virtually nobody who is not a political friend of the current administration, and even they, I don't know if that word even has meaning, but it's difficult to know one day to the next whether entire industries will just be sunk by, a very casual decision. Not that I'm trying to make this a political stream, I'm definitely not, but that's just a reality, is there's a lot of uncertainty. And I didn't want to stop supporting Digital Foundry entirely because I do want them to succeed, but I was on their highest tier of support, and I had to scale it back, which I wasn't happy about because, even though I know this isn't true, that doesn't mean that you don't still support a channel and all the stuff that's in it. It's just sometimes, economic realities are what they are, but I still didn't like doing it because I didn't know necessarily. I don't think anybody knew that they were trying to go independent like this. But wait, what did I just do there? Did I just... Oh, okay. I don't think they talked about it at all as far as I know. But still, you want to support channels like this and creators like this so that they hopefully can exist independently. So this is actually so that announcement was like a best case scenario. They were able to do what I think most people supporting the channel were hoping they'd be able to do at some point, which is to be able to self-support. But like I said, I wasn't even aware they were part of IGN. I knew they weren't fully independent, but I wasn't really clear because really it doesn't matter as long as they're allowed to do their thing, which I think in many ways they were, but they weren't able to do as much of certain things as they wanted to. I don't think they would... I mean, it doesn't sound like from what they've said that IGN was a terrible co-owner, but they still were just not able to necessarily do everything that they wanted to do. And so now they'll be able to. You know what? The top of this thing just doesn't look right to me. Yeah, that looks like that should be taller. So I think I'm going to expand that. Hold on, let's see. Is that the right size? It might be. What's the size on that? 10? It's probably a 10. Yeah. It just looks like it should be a little bit above those flowers. It just doesn't look right. I kind of want it to be... maybe I'll do it like this, because you're not going to see that anyway. So I don't want it to be pointy. That's a little too KKK for me, but there we go. All right, so now I'll turn the mask back on, and let's mask out this stuff. But I want to see a little of that hood come over the flowers. I don't like how little of it I'm seeing. Yeah, I just feel like that doesn't look right. I want the crown to come down a little bit. So there we go. I got it. All right. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to leave this like this for a minute, but I am going to feed my dog now. So I shall return in about 5 minutes. So actually, I'll put the be right back thing up there. I really do need to do like a back in 5 minutes thing, but I'm going to mute my mic because otherwise you're just going to hear a lot of noise. And I will be back in a few minutes. Okay, everybody, I'm back. And amazingly, my knee did not hurt sitting down, so that's nice. You know what? That thing is supposed to do a... Hold on. Transition. Hide transition. Ah, that's why. Hold, hi, cutie. There we go. I was going to say, that should be fading. Hi. Hi. Was that delicious? I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. Yeah, was that good stuff? Yeah. Let's see here. Let's get the... Hi, I don't have anything on my hands. You already got all the peanut butter off it. You already got it all. Goof. Oh, these are the shadow lines. All right, let's get a bone color in here. So let's get the bone color. We'll go underneath the black color. So we'll need a third color. So let's go ahead and move that to the top. Black always will supersede. Let's do a base bone color. My dog is funny. All right, let's get... Is this a good bone color? That's not bad. Actually, let's make it a little bit lighter. Let's make it slightly lighter, like that. There we go. All right, so let's get a base bone color in here. And let's get this. I'll probably stream for about another 10 minutes or so. Like I said, this is going to be a short one. So will not be all that long tonight. But that's okay, as normally I don't stream on Fridays, so it's a bonus stream. A bonus. I mean, I don't know what bonus even means in this context, but it was unplanned, so I'm not going to worry about the fact that it's shorter than usual, because it's not like, I mean, honestly, it's not like there's any particular time requirement to begin with, so I'm not gonna worry if this was a little shorter. That's okay. Oh, I didn't realize those things. I have to clean that up. Let's clean those edges up, shall we? Yeah, I don't like my little hash marks to be outside the lines. Ooh, the line. If you identified that song from that little tiny bit that I quote-unquote sang, good for you. That means you're a fan too. If you didn't, don't worry about it. Most people probably don't know what that song is, especially for how quickly or how little of it, I should say, that I sang of it. But if you do, it's a great song. Very good song from that particular album. That's all I'm going to say. Some things are good to be mysterious. Okay, let's go over here. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's good. Oh, a little bit there. That's okay. Oh, that went out of the line, so we'll just do that. Actually, we'll do just that. That other one can stay because that's kind of going outside as it goes up. All right, same thing over here. I probably could have done the mirroring thing, but I'm pretty sure that this image is slightly asymmetrical, so I'm fine just doing this manually. It's okay. Wow. You know what? Yeah, okay, I was going to say, there's really nothing out there. But we're good. Now we're inside. Okay. Do that. Do that. That. And we are good there. So now, let's go back to our bone color. We're going to switch to, not that. We'll use the ink brush here. That's going to be a darker color in that back bone. Oops. Come on, Edge. Careful. There we go. Do that. Okay. Come down here. Yeah, I just thought of it. I was just thinking, I'm like, why is my knee going on me? And then I remembered how I was standing for a while yesterday. Yep. Yep. I mean, that's good advice, everybody. If you stand a lot, you have to take breaks. Gotta do it. And trust me when I tell you, even if it doesn't seem to bother you now, it might later. It's kind of like people who get carpal tunnel because they didn't type with proper support. That's one thing I got lucky. I was a little bit more aware of that than I think a lot of people were. I was paying attention to it. So that is one thing I have not had to deal with that I know other people have. So luckily, I've always had wrist rests and stuff like that. I've tried to keep my wrists straight and all that stuff. So I think that has helped me. Well, I know it has. I shouldn't say I think. So I got lucky there in that for whatever reason, there's two things that looking back, I can objectively say that I think I was a little bit smarter about younger than most people are. Two things. One is the typing thing. I was just always kind of aware of the fact that maybe it's because I draw and I was really kind of overprotective of my hands and I was like, you don't want to mess with this. That was one. The other, wearing a seatbelt. I wore a seatbelt right from the beginning of me driving, which a lot of people I knew and were friends with did not. So that was not something that was necessarily everybody was doing that, but I mean, don't get me wrong, I was a really bad driver when I was younger, but at least I always had my seatbelt on. So that when I got into all the accidents I got into, at least, I wasn't putting myself at stupid, well, I was putting myself at stupid risk. I was at least partially responsible for myself. But yeah, I was a really stupid, idiot young driver. I got very lucky. I never hurt anybody. Fortunately. I pretty much destroyed the front of somebody's car once, but they were fine. And I took a little chunk out of the back corner of a car once, but they were fine. But nobody ever got injured. That is one thing I shouldn't say it like I really intended it. I got lucky. I really did. The problem is, I was just talking to my wife about this. When you're young, nobody can tell you otherwise. You just think you're invincible. Unfortunately, it's every young person's like that. Everybody. We're all like that. We're all dumb that way. Because you just don't have that experience and that knowledge that, you know what? You're not invincible. Everybody thinks that way. It's unfortunate. It is. It is unfortunate. But it's a reality. And I was no different. I cannot pretend I was any smarter than any other dumb kid my age. The exceptions are the kids who are smart. Most of us are dumb. You just have a sense of invincibility. Or that, the same old thing that a lot of people do still have is, it won't happen to me. No, I can drive like a maniac and I'll have the reflexes. It's not going to be me. Yeah, of course it's going to be you. Of course it is. But like I said, we all think otherwise. We all do. We're all like, no. That only happens to the dummies. Not me. Not me. Now, is that? Yeah, see that. Wait a minute, is that not that? Why is it not, or did I not have the paint on? Well, that's weird. Why is it like that? Oh, it erased it? Why did it erase it? That's strange. It would not have... Wait a minute. Okay, there we go. Now go to black. Fill that in. Why did that do that? Bizarre. Okay. Well, whatever. Got it. So, yeah. Like I said. Dummy. That was me. A dummy. And fortunately for me, it never resulted in anybody getting hurt. So I was very lucky that way. Very lucky. Myself or anybody else. Not everybody is that fortunate. And one other thing I never did. Never did this. Never drank and drive. Drank and drove. Never drank and drive. Yeah. That's English. I never drank and drove. That is where my lack of any real taste for alcohol helped me out. Because it was just not anything I ever wanted to do. I think I'm going to go with a dark red cape. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think it's going to be a red cape. Let's do that as where are we? We'll do that as the last thing for tonight. I'm going to make a nice deep maroon cape for this character. I may change that later. But for now, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, never drank and drove a car. Never got into a car under the influence. Boy, oh boy, if anything. One thing that I was smart about, one of the few things when it comes to driving that I can claim any intelligence on. Actually, I'm going to put this under. Hold on. That, so I can just do this. No, don't. Why did it do that? There we go. And one of the few things that I can honestly look at and say, yep, at least I was that smart. All right, I have to move this. Of course, I did it in the wrong order. There we go. Yeah. Like I said, a lot of things I did dumb when it came to driving younger, but that wasn't one of them. I could say with complete and utter honesty, I never drank, I never was under the influence of anything when I was behind the wheel. So at least I didn't do that either, because I knew people killed by drunk drivers. I knew people who were in accidents because of drunk drivers, and I am really, a lot of stuff I look back on and not necessarily the proudest of, because a lot of dumb decisions, but that's one where I can look and be like, you know what, one thing I didn't do, one mistake I never made was to drive drunk. So I may not be able to claim to be the smartest person in a lot of respects when it comes to driving and being dumb. I mean, it's almost worse to be sober, but still, you know, at least, again, I don't know if this is really good or bad, but I can't blame anything but myself for my dumb stuff. And I kind of prefer to, I mean, if I had been drinking, I can only imagine that I might have easily killed people in those accidents that I had. Certainly, 2 of the accidents I'm thinking of, if I had been under the influence of something, I likely would have killed somebody. Because I did have enough of my reflexes to avoid the worst possible version of that accident. Of those accidents, I should say, 2 of them. So I actually can say with a fair degree of confidence that, yeah, it would have been worse. It absolutely would have been worse. So do not do it, everybody. I know everybody always hear, but I mean, there's lots of things that you hear and ignore in life. That should not be one of them. Do not drive under the influence. Because, man, if it is an accident where you or somebody is seriously hurt, there is no taking that back. That's the thing. Like the cars that I hit and the damage I did to vehicles, that's all fixable. And it was. It was all fixable. It was nothing permanent. And even if it had been, even if a car had been totaled, you can get another car. You cannot fix if you seriously injure somebody. There is, unless you get very fortunate, there may not be any way of fixing that, and you have to live with that. And that's a rough deal, let me tell you. I'm happy I never got to that point. Not got to, I should say. I never allowed myself to be put in that position. Yeah, my dog is looking at me. She probably has to go out. And that's fine, because I'm about done anyway. Because, I didn't even plan to do this for an hour, and it's been just short of it. So we're in good shape here. We'll finish out the red, and then we will call the stream for this evening. Yeah. So, was not intending to make this a driver safety stream, but you know what? Take it from somebody who drove stupidly enough. Of course nobody ever thinks it's going to be them. Of course none of us think that. If we had a true awareness of the danger, we would never do these things to begin with. It's because we don't. And, you know, I hope you never get in an accident. Anybody who sees this, hears this, whatever, I hope in your entire life you never get into any type of accident of any kind, your fault or somebody else's. Because I wouldn't wish it on anybody. But do the things you can to avoid it. All right, that's where I'm going to bring it to a close for tonight. So let me do this and that. And Thank you for hanging out. I don't think there was anybody live tonight, which is perfectly fine. So if you're watching this later, hey, thanks for watching this later. I appreciate that too. I don't really care when people find my stuff. Does not matter whether you're watching live or after the fact. I just appreciate people stopping by and checking things out. And I haven't said in a while, but I'll say it again. Do something creative. Do something creative, whatever it is. Doesn't matter what it is. Do something that's fun and creative and makes you stretch your brain a little bit. It's good for you. It's good for your mind, your body, and your soul. And I will also say that if there's a creator out there that you like and you enjoy their stuff, support that creator in whatever way you can. I'm not talking about me. There's lots of creators out there who are struggling. They're trying to make a go of being creative people. It's not easy. Anything you can do to support those people. It does not have to be monetary. A lot of people think it does. It does not. It could just, I mean, if you can, sure, of course. Nobody's going to turn down financial help. But that is not all that there is to support. Support can be just sending somebody a note saying, hey, I like your work. Resharing their stuff. Subscribing if that's whatever their mechanism is. Those things go a long way. Even just a simple sentence that, hey, this thing you did brightened my day. Just do that. That stuff's more powerful than we think it is. So support a creator. Find somebody, because it's real easy to take them for granted. And then suddenly they're not there for a while, and then that while becomes a long while, and then who knows? For whatever reason. There's lots of different reasons that can happen. So reach out and appreciate the creators that you enjoy while you can. It's just always a good idea. It does not have to involve money. It can just be as simple as saying, hey, I like your work. And you never know when that little bit of appreciation, which means a lot more than I think we give it credit for, you never know when that's going to reach somebody. They could be at a really low point. And that simple message, I say this from direct experience, that simple message could arrive at just a point where somebody needs to hear something positive. So take the time to do it, and because it's absolutely worth it. All right. On that note, thanks for being here, and until the next stream, go support somebody. It's good for them. It's good for you. And until next time, thanks for being here, and take care.